जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु, जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु, जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु, जय श्री राम हरे, जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु, जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु, जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु, जय श्री राम हरे, जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु, जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु, जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु, जय श्री कृष्ण हरे। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। We join in expressions of welcome this evening.
सबको Seetahal. Welcome to each and every one to this, the fourth, the penultimate night, the fourth of 5 nights of Panchouti Ramayan Yagna. Tonight, our main shota, our main sponsor is Auntie Shirmala, the beloved wife of Councillor Allan Seepersad. And it's a little special night in that, as Baba mentioned last night, today marks 10 years since the passing of their beloved son, Akash. And you would see a picture of Akash here. So, basically, just welcome to each and everyone. May you all have a very beautiful evening. And I hand over to Pandit ji.
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। कर हो जाए आटली जी। शुभम करोतु कल्याणम आरोग्यम सुख संपरम मम शत्रु विनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते। सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्र मूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। साजं स्वरते चासनुक्तं महिने मयोजितं मया दीपं गृहाण देवेश त्रैलोके तिमिरापहम्। आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकारि शेषायं शारद वर्णि पवन सुत कीरतनी के।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
संकट गावत शंभु भवानी अरुगत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि पूंज पताणी काकभूषण गरुड़ तेहि की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
चारहु वेद पुराण यशरस चाहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनि जन जन संतन को सर्वस सारयंच सम्मत सबहि की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पीकी शुभग सिंगार मुक्ति युवती की। अरन रोग भव मूत्रियमी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पीकी।
जय Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama,
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama,
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram,
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 Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Rama,
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Rama,
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanumana,
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanumana,
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram,
Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram,
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi,
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi,
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi,
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi,
Jagadamba Devi, oh Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi,
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi,
Jagadam Jagadam Jagadamba Devi, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
Jagadam Jagadam Jagadamba Devi, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
Jagadam Jagadam Jagadamba Devi, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति, जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
Jagadam Jagadam Jagadamba Devi, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति,
ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति। आरती श्री रामायण जी की,
आरती श्री रामायण जी की,
कीरत कली करत निकसिय बीकी,
आरती श्री रामायण,
नामत ब्रह्मा एक मुनि नारद,
नामक ब्रह्मा एक मुनि नारद,
वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद,
आरती श्री रामायण,
सुख सनगाई शेषयरुषारद,
सुख सनकारी शेषयरुषारद,
वरनि पवन सुत कीरत नीकी,
आरती श्री रामायण,
आरति श्री रामायण,
आरती श्री रामायण,
आरति श्री रामायण,
आरती श्री रामायण,
आरति श्री रामायण। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। आसन पर बैठिए। Let us all please be seated. My adorations, my prostrations at the lotus-like feet of Sri Pandit Avinash Ji and his Dharam Patni. My adorations and prostrations at the lotus-like feet of all of you, elders and others, who came from far and near to join with us this evening in our devotions. This evening we welcome all of those who are listening and all of those who are viewing us by our broadcasts on media concepts, to Kishan, and we say welcome as well. This evening we prepare our minds and our souls to listen to the Katha. Let us bow our heads in prayer. हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम। हे राम हे राम हे राम दया करो भगवान 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 कृपा करो। शुक्लां वरदं देवां शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजा प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। रामायण सुमिरन। जो सुमिरत सिद्ध होय गणनायक कनिवर वदना करहु अनुग्रह सोय बुद्धि राशि सुपगुण सधना। जनय गिरिवर जासु कृपा सोदया प्रभु सकल कलिमल गणना। नील सरो रघुषा करुणयरुण वारी जनयना करहु सुममा उरदा सदा चीर सागर सयना। कुंदयिनो सामने कुमारमन करुणायना जाहि दीन पठने करहु कृपा मरदना मयना। बंदो गुरु पारकन कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरे बचन रवि कर निकर बंदो पवन कुमार बल बल पावत ज्ञानी धरा जासु हृदय आकाश बसहु राम सरताप हरा श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रजा जमन मुकुर सुधा बदलो रघुवर विमल यश जोदायक फल चार बोलहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुध विद्या देहु मुनि हरहु कलेश विकार तुलसी कृत्य रमायना कथा करहु अनुसार आसन लीजे प्रेम हिता आहु पवन कुमार सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय अयोध्या राम लला की जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय पुरेसा जगन्नाथ की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम शंकर हरि ओम नाथ मम संकट हरो हरि. Take a minute. Talk to the person next to you. Say, hey, how are you? Take a minute. Talk to the person next to you. Ask them, you're feeling warm, eh? We'll write a note and tell the councillor, air condition. Take a minute. Pay a nice compliment to the person next to you. Say you're looking nice. Tell them. Mama, tell her you like a sari. Tell her. Pay a nice compliment to the person next to you. Take a minute. Just take a peep. See who is sitting behind you. Take a little peep. See who is behind you. Taxi. Who is behind you? In the Ramayana, Goswami Tulsidas Ji writes many beautiful epics. On the first night, we listened to the birth of Raja Dasarath. On the second night, we listened to the birth of Mata Kausalya. Last night, we listened to the union of Dasarath and Kausalya. We listen to how Raja Dasarath was happy, he was elated. For Kausalya Devi had now become his queen. The entire Ayodhya was celebrating. Even the heavens were celebrating. Yada yada hi dharmasya granir bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmanam svajamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya staduskritam dharma sanstarpanataya Sambhavani yoge yoge. But dharma was on the decline and adharma was on the rise. And it was that time when Bhagwan had to come to do cleansing. Have you ever done cleansing before? Have you ever done cleansing before? One of my friends said to me, he said, I know a lady who just give you a bush bath. When she done bathe you, you're brand new. I say, I have an idea. I could use soap and feel brand new right after. It is all in your mind. It is all in your mind. What somebody else could do for you, you could do it better for yourself. Do you agree? Do you agree? The answer is, do you agree? Never allow anybody to make you feel as though you're inferior. Never allow anybody to make you feel like you need a bath because you're not fitting in. Never allow anybody to make you feel that your energy is not what it is supposed to be. Because we are all different and our energy is different. Look on the altar. Panditji installed those flags on the altar. You seen the color? Taxi? What color are you seeing? Yellow. Oh, that's the only one you see, huh? What other color you see there? Black, green, white, red. When you see the color black, what energy do you think that carry? When you see the color white, what energy does it carry? When you see red, what energy does it carry? Auntie Sushila, what energy red carries? Huh? Love? Narayan, Narayan. You see, so too when we meet with the different beings around us, they carry an energy. Some of them you just want to hug them and love them and keep close to them. And some of them you just want to run from. Isn't it? Hunch the person next to you, say, hey, that's true, eh? Tell them. You just want to run from them. The time had come when cleansing has to happen. In the kingdom of Dasara, they were very happy. But you see, Ravan, he already had existence. And Ravan, having no clue who Purushottam will be, Ravan was still frightened. Ravan sat on his golden throne. You see, gold makes you happy for some time. Is that true? A day comes when even the bracelet that you like to wear, you feel as though it's stifling you. And you're wearing it on your hand, eh? But you're feeling as though it's stifling you. You just need to take it off. Have you ever experienced that before? The chain is long and around your neck, but you feel like it's choking you. Have you ever experienced that? The ring is slack and spinning on your finger, but you feel as though it's squeezing out your finger. You have to take it off. It becomes uncomfortable. Is that true? So then, if that's true, you should never be vexed with your sister Fabira. Because in the long run, it will only make you uncomfortable. In the long run, it will not make you happy. You see, that's the value that we place on our relationship. We class our relationship based on material thing. Will this bracelet ever be worth the bond that I'm supposed to share with my brother? Is this equivalent to him? What he could do for me and how he could help me, this bracelet will never be able to help me. Isn't it? Isn't it? You vex with your brother for a plot of land. Imagine that. When we were coming just now, We were forced to slow down by the cemetery. Taxi. I wonder how much people fighting there for land. I looked at the plaque and I said to them, one of the divers was buried here. It is a nephew of Taxi. I was saying to them in the car. You see, even that had trouble in it. Because they buried him and somebody went to the grave to do mischief. Isn't it? Took out the flags and did all sorts of things. I read that on the newspaper. That's where I saw that. When I tell you, it's because I know. When I ask you, it's because I want to know. It says, Dasrat and Kausalya, they in their kingdom. But Ravan is seated on his throne. And as Ravan is seated on his throne, Ravan looks around. And you know what Ravan is seeing? Ravan is seeing something that makes him unhappy. What makes you most unhappy? Radhika, what makes you most unhappy? Huh? What thing makes you most unhappy? She said, Baba, when I don't get my pension. That's a little tension. It says, you know what? Taxi said so. You know, Ravan sat there and Ravan saw something that made him unhappy. What is it? Listen, the Katha begins to tell us. Mangala Bhavanaya, Mangala Bhavanaya, Mangala Hari, Prabhu Sudasarata Jinapi Hari, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Sing it, everybody.
Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama.
Karata Panagaha, Karata Panagaha, Lanka Raja, Deka Harupa Charamu Kaja, Binata Birata Kaha, Binata Birata Kaha, Samahina Pai, Dehi Sab Sukha Dukahi Napai.
Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama.
Ravan sat down and Ravan started observing all of the beings who are living there in Lanka. And Ravan became very unhappy. You know why? Because Ravan saw that they were happy. You see, not everybody will be happy because you are happy. Is that true? Not everybody will be happy for you when life is going good and smooth sailing. They always have to do something to aggravate that. They always have to do something to bring about an upset. The onus is on you to allow them or not allow them. The responsibility is yours to accept what they're giving to you or disregard what they're giving to you. You have that responsibility. Ravan saw that all the beings, they were happy. But you know what Ravan saw? The happiest of the happy were the old holy people. The old holy people. Are you holy? Are we holy people? Hello? Hello? Are you all holy? I didn't ask if you have a hole in your clothes, huh? Are we holy people? What makes us holy? Man, karm, vachan. Thought, words, actions, they make us holy. Huh? You could be in the mandir 364 of the 65 days, and that don't make you holy, you know. You know that? You could be offering a bucket of dar by the jandi every single day. That don't make you holy.
Because you stand up and offer in the dar, and when you come back inside, you like Lankini. You don't talk to nobody. You don't laugh with nobody. You're not pleasant. You're not easygoing. You don't know how to forgive. You don't know how to forget. You're full with arrogance and ego and pride. And then when you're doing the arti, God looking at you and laughing. He said, the man who in darkness and creating darkness, waving arti. And he laughing in the heaven. Because you know why? You can't fool God. Service to man is service to God. And when God is served through man, all things are added on us. Bhagwan Krishna tells us that in Bhagavad Gita. He says service to God is service to man. And when man is served, God becomes happy. And when our work on the earth becomes service to God through man, all things are added on us. It is a slogan. It is the proverb of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation. That's the pillar on which we rest. Service to God is service to man. Take a peep at the person next to you. Seeing God? Watch the person next. Don't say, oh God. Take a minute. Watch the person next to you. Seeing God? Huh? You seeing God in that person? Baba, sometimes I just see the Devi, you know. And the Devi is designed with a E. But sometimes I see the Devi and they design with a L. Spell the Devi with a L. All of us have good and goodness in us. And all of us have the opportunity to stifle that goodness and be bad. True enough. The choice is yours. Ravan saw that the holy old people, they were happiest. And this made him very unhappy. So Ravan summoned a meeting. And so summoning this meeting, he invited all of them. Santa Samaj, all of them, he invited them to come. And Ravan looked at them. And Ravan in his mind plotted a plan, thinking of what made them most happy. Tonight I want to ask you, what makes you most happy? What makes you most happy? Auntie Shamla, what makes you most happy? When I talk to Taxi and he listens. Huh? She says music makes her most happy. What makes you Munilal, what makes you most happy? You see, I just asked a well-trained husband, he point his wife. You see, sometimes what makes you most happy might be a being, might be a thing, might be an object, might be a thought, might be an experience. And all of us, we have a different answer. Ravan looked at them and Ravan thought that their happiness was coming from their possession, what they had. And Ravan says, I make a law. You must bring all your wealth for me. Bring all your wealth and give it to me. It belongs to me. The holy people had little or nothing. Have you ever taken the time to listen to the stories of your grandmothers and great-grandmothers? Have you taken the time to listen to the story? Huh? Baba, we used to plant rice. And I used to work for a shilling a day. And Baba, I saved the shilling one. And I paid down on the bearer. The man who I buy the bearer from used to sell it on a bicycle. And in the back of the bike had a little box. You all never hear the story? You all never hear the story? I asked when I heard that, I said, so nobody never robbed him? They say in them days, who robbing anybody? Nobody robbing anybody. You didn't have to lock your door. You didn't have to close your window. Everybody was family. You all hear that word? Family. We don't have that again. Your sister is not your sister again. Your sister is your best competition. Cousins are not friends anymore. Cousins are enemy. Because they're fighting for grandfather bong. Huh? Neighbors are not neighbors anymore. Instead of making a gate to go to the neighbor, you have to build a wall to block the neighbor off. And that's how we live. In the day and the age that we live in, that's how we live. Not if you're my neighbor. You want to talk to me by force. And if you're not talking to me, I know nothing wrong with me. So it had to be something wrong with you. And if it's wrong with you and I really can't fix you, well, I don't know. I'll work around you. Ravan, he said to them, bring whatever you possess. And the holy people brought little or nothing. You see, the less thing you have, the more happy your life is. Is that true? Long ago, they didn't have a couch, they had a hammock. You remember? Everybody fighting for the hammock to get a rock. Isn't it? Isn't it? Now you have a chair, you press a button and the foot gonna bloom. And you press the next button and the back gone down. When last you sit down in that chair? Long ago you had a pall that you will sit down on. Huh? They spread the pall and everybody sit down on the ground flat. In 2024 we have dining table with thick chair. When last you sit down on that? Huh? When last you sat on the dining table to eat? It's just an ornament, you know. The house I grew up in, real janjat, you know. The dining table covered on with a red cloth. And over that have a white see-through tablecloth. And then it have table mat. And then it have a clear plastic over that. And then you're dead and leave everything ready. And your daughter-in-law say, that outdated, throw that. Jai be akela, the table dead too. You cover on couch with chadar and you ain't want to sit down because you ain't want to soil up the couch, and when you're dead, they grating cheese paste on top of the couch. Huh? And you saving and saving and saving and saving. Nothing to save. Ask them when they come to my home. Open house, you know. Anywhere you want to go, up, down. We gave the wrong man the code. The dog and all know the code. Up, down, anywhere. Inside, outside, anywhere you want to go. You free. Do anything you want. Nothing is off limit. Everything is to be used. Use it. Use it. It says, the holy people brought little or nothing, and this made Ravan unhappy. And so as Ravan became unhappy, what will he do? Out of anger, Ravan acted. How do you behave when you are angry? How do you speak when you are angry? Barry, how you talk when you get vexed? Huh? I should not ask you. I know how you just talk. Kishan, how you talk when you get mad? With sugar? With honey? Papa, how you just talk when you get vexed? Papa say in a high tone. High tone, you begin to roar, you get mad. Ravan becomes angry and Ravan he does something. What will he do? Listen, it tells us. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama,
Jai Rama, Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama.
Gatani Astapana Mituka Pita Guru Dehiyanata Asu Magan Kaha Dehi Pukaja Dehi Chara Sakaha Man Dehuraja Man Dehuraja. I want to hear you. Jai Ram Shri, sing with me. Jai Jai Shri Ram Jai Jai Jai. Sonia, I can't hear you. Sing louder. Sing with me louder. Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Ravan, he got a gut, an earthen pot, a huge, shaped like a kalsa. And as though he has sharpened it, he placed it in the center of his courtyard. Summoning all of the holy people, the most senior, who was like the guru, who was like the guide, Ravan held him. And you know what Ravan did? Ravan said, "Did you bring all your wealth for me?" And the man said, "Yes." Ravan says, "You are not speaking the truth." You see, sometimes though you're telling the truth, nobody believes you. Have you ever encountered that before? There's some people I'm telling the truth and they wouldn't believe me. I am the Pundit and I had a whole Murti. And say, look, I'm holding the Murti. And I'm telling you the truth. And you're holding the Murti and telling them and they still say you lie. That's how dark their thinking is. That's how they class you. You see, they class you based on how they will behave. Because they have conviction. They could hold the Murti and lie. And they believe you will do that too. But you must never make God into a mockery. If it reaches to holding the Murti or the holy book and swearing, then you have to uphold. Because that is now you and God. And when you go to God, you have to be pure. When you go to God, you have to be sincere. When you go to God, you have to be honest. Because God already knows. You can't hide from Him. He already knows. Ravan holds the most senior of them and Ravan beheads him. Ravan begins to collect his blood in the pot. And Ravan look at all the other holy people and you know what he tells them? You all will be next. You all will be next if you don't bring everything for me. The next day, Ravan asked them again, did you bring anything for me? But they had nothing. And Ravan beheaded another one. And Ravan beheaded another one. And Ravan started collecting the blood in the pot. But one night, after performing this kind of action, Ravan went to sleep. Do you know there's some people make all the mischief and go to sleep comfortable and leave you in burning, blazing fire? Huh? They put you in the hot pot and they go to sleep and they snoring hard. And you under siege. You're in distress. You're in real trouble. Ravan, he goes to sleep. And Ravan is having a sapna. What is a sapna? You ever had a dream before? What do you dream? What do you dream? Do you dream good things? Do you dream good things? Do you dream more good things than bad things? Do you dream more bad things than good things? If you're over dreaming, stop eating before you go to sleep. Get tired before you go to sleep. You have no time to dream anything. Ravan goes to sleep and Ravan is having a dream. And in the dream, a voice is talking to Ravan. You ever talk in your sleep before? Have you ever spoken in your sleep before? Sometimes depending on how tired I am and wherever I fall, I will fall asleep. After I shower, wherever, on the couch, wherever, by my aunt, in her room, wherever. And one night she woke me up. She said, hey, get up, prayer's done. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, you still let me put up the jandi. So I know that means the prayer's done. So I waking you up. Time for the parsad. And I was dreaming that, you know. I was dreaming that. She said, you do the whole puja, you know. In your sleep, you do the whole puja. I say, really? She said, yeah, you doing hawan and thing. Fun and smoke and fire and thing. She said, you telling them stand up and sit down. And she said, I wonder if it's me you're telling. I wondered if I have to get up and sit down. And she said, but anyhow, it's time to put up the jandi, get up. You see, you're so in tune. The mind is working, though you're resting.
the night before your puja, you could hardly sleep. True or not? You soak the chana, you know. You know you soak the chana, you know, but you get up to go and see if you soak the chana. Because you're so jittery. You know what you didn't know. But you so want to make sure the pot done on the stove and the dabla inside the pot and the flour on top the table and you can't wait. Huh? You know, being a pundit, we have beautiful experiences. Huh? But you should ask Pandit, he will tell you. We have beautiful experiences, especially when we go to different homes. When we go to different homes, we see different things. I have gone to homes before and they forget to make the parsad. I have gone to homes before and they look at me and they say, Baba, we're waiting for you to make the parsad. I have gone to homes before and they forget to cut the bamboo. I have gone to homes before and they look at me and they say, you have bring the baby. I have gone to homes before and they look at me and they say, well, we're going to use your murti and thing, we have that. I have gone to homes before and they look at me and they say, Baba, today is not the prayers. I changed it. They telling me, them change the date. I said, who did you tell? They say, well, we wanted to call you, you know, but we forget to call you. We're going to do the prayers next week. And we have all different kinds of experiences. I have experience where people cook, especially for me, black eye, and I do eat that. I have experience where people say, Baba, you never eat this thing. When you taste this, you go straight to heaven. You're right, because I don't like that. I might really go to heaven. And we have experienced all different kinds of things. Ask the Pandit, he'll tell you. I have gone to a funeral before where they wanted to take the man out of the box and put him to sit down in his chair before he go to the cremation. I have had the experience where they wanted to put the man inside his car to carry him for a ride. And you see, it sounds like a joke to you, but it's how we react and how we behave. And sometimes we do the foolish things too, you know. I have had the privilege. I will never forget. I go to do the funeral and the casket is sealed and there is a little window. And the man from the funeral home came and he said, Pandit, I'll open the box for you because it's a decomposing. The body is decomposing. They found him days after. But you'll offer the pindan thing inside and we'll close it back quick. And I have had the experience where we offer the pindan, the mala, and close the box. And time to go now, they take up the casket, put it in the hearse, and I can't find my car key. Because they now pick up everything and offload it in the box. Car key, cell phone, everything. I am looking everywhere. I say to the man from the hearse, I say, boy, it look like it's me, you, and the dead man going down the road today because I can't find my key. He said, Pandit, check your pocket. I say, how much time? I will check 2 pockets that don't have nothing in it. He said, go back and see if you leave it in the car. I said, I checked that already too. I said, there is only one thing. Open back that box. Key say, look me here. Dead man said, good for you. Keep it in your pocket. You see, and it could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody, anytime. Ravan, he's having the dream. And you know what the voice says? The voice says, get rid of that pot. Stop your actions. For that blood that you're collecting will be the source of your death. Ravan only have to hear death and Ravan frightened. Ravan only have to hear that and Ravan becomes scared. Ravan in the dead of the night wake up his servants. Take the pot away from here and go and bury it somewhere. Bury it where nobody will find it. If you have to hide something where nobody will find it, where will that be? We're good at that. We be hiding things that we're supposed to find and can't find it. You ever hide something so safe that you too can't find it? Ravan wakes them up and Ravan takes give them the instruction to take the pot. And now that they take the pot and they go and they hide it away, what will happen? Ravan thinks he has cheated death. Do you know we will never be able to cheat death? Have you given thought to that? We will never be able to cheat death. The day that we will die has already been recorded. And you know when that record comes? It comes when the baby is born. On the 6th day, when Shashti Devi and Lord Brahma comes to visit the child. But you see, you're not interested in 6 days and 12 days, you know. You study in Bragadang, where you go cook and who you go invite and where they go drink. But that is a soulful, sentimental, important, religious, spiritual, divine time in the life of the baby. When even parsad is made and you call the parsad halwa. And if you think about halwa, halwa is lapsi. And you're putting all of those herbs and spices because the home is considered to be impure. And you want to give the Devi something pure. That's why, you know. In the Navratri, I say to the ladies in the group, I say, make some halwa. Let's offer it to the Devi. And they say, who make a baby? I say, make it one of the evenings. Let's offer it to the Devi. She loves that. That's her parsad. It says, Ravan gives them the instruction to hide the pot, and he thinks that he has cheated death. But across where they have buried the pot, the king gets up very early in the morning, and the king goes out in the field. The king goes out in the field. If the boss doesn't go in the field to see what the workers they are doing, what will they do? If the boss doesn't go to the office to see what the workers are doing, what will happen? If you're having construction and you don't go to watch what they're doing, what do they do? They'll take your cement and cast them house. Huh? They'll take the brick and block up around their house and leave yours just so. You have to watch all the time. You have to supervise all the time. A leader doesn't lead by his words. A leader leads by his example. And anytime your leader can't do what you could do, then you know what happened? What happened? If he can't be equivalent to you or above you, then Ravan goes to sleep as normal, and the king in a neighboring town, he goes out to plow. It is a time of spring. You know what they're singing to welcome spring? Savan ka mahina pavan karso jera rijume se jaise banwana che mor. Savan ka mahina pavan karso jera rijume se jaise banwana che mor. The time of spring has come. Let us be, let us sing, let us dance, and let us welcome spring. Let us plant our crops. Let us plow the land so that we will always have food. That's what this song is saying. Ever heard that song before? That's what that song is saying. That song is saying, let us welcome spring. The time of spring has come. Let us welcome spring. It's a festive time. The king, he puts the plow down on the ground. And as the plow begins to go to and fro, the king is plowing the land. Huh? The king is plowing the land. You know, there are some people, especially if you are in a position where you have employees, the employees will try their best to make sure you have nothing to do. If you have to walk, they will put something so that your foot wouldn't get messed up with mud. Huh? The good ones, the good employee. And they don't care if they have to stand up in mud, but they're making sure that the boss' foot doesn't get messed up. Huh? Plowing and plowing and plowing. The plow of Janaki, the king, becomes stuck. And as the plow becomes stuck, Janaki is confused. We have plowed this land many times before. Why is the plow stuck? And Janaki summons his servants. Dig, let us see what is preventing. And you know what they find? You know what they find? They find Ravan's pot. The pot that he was hiding has resurfaced. And as the pot resurfaces, while they're taking the pot out, you see it is made of clay. It was in clay. And inside had liquid. It becomes very fragile. The pot cracks open. And as the pot cracks open, you know what they begin to hear? The cries of a baby. A baby begins to cry. Janaki is wondering what kind of jadoo. You know what is jadoo? What kind of magic is this? A baby from a pot inside the earth? You see, you and I, we have heard many times before, from the earth we came and to the earth we shall eventually. Have you ever heard that before? That's where we came from. We have heard that God created us in His own image and His own likeness. We have heard that before. But yet when you stand up in front of the mirror, you think your nose not good. And your hair is too big. And you feel that your lip not the color you want it to be. And you feel that your hair don't look good. And you feel that you're in charge. But God created you the way He wanted you to be. Because if we were all the same, then it would be boring. Imagine you have to talk to somebody who's looking just like you. What you do? What you do? Imagine they wearing the same clothes like you, they're talking like you, walking like you, eating what you eat, drinking what you drink. Life will be boring. In the home that you live in, you have children. One like curry and one like stew. Isn't it? One like dal and one like red bean. They're not eating the same thing. When you cooking like you is Mother Lakshmi. Have forehand. Because you want everybody to be happy. Because everybody don't like the same thing. One like sada and one like dosti. Huh? And you want everybody to be happy. It says Ravan. He is in Lanka. But Raja Janak, now he has a little baby girl. Janak lifts up the little baby and he is asking, who does she belong to? You ever carry a little child out in a mall or somewhere and the child begins to trot and drum and cry and bawl and scream and roll on the ground and drag, and everybody looks at the child creating this commotion and you feeling shame, so you watch too and say, who child is that? Ever did that? Ever did that before? I take my little nephew to the mall. He wants to go to the toy shop. I said, I will buy for you what I say I could buy for you, not what you want. He go and he look at this helicopter thing for a big price. I say, no. That is for girls. He say, oh. He look at another thing, a remote control, something on a track, $3,500. I say, no. That is for ladies. He go and he pick up a little squeaky ball. He said, Uncle, can I have this one? I look at the price. Then I say, yeah, of course, you can have more than one. He say, oh, this is a man's. I take him back to the helicopter. I say, you know what? God is looking at me. Let me don't lie. Let me get him what he wants. It is better I get him what he wants and make him happy than I buy him what I want and he's unhappy. A gift is supposed to make somebody happy. You see, the little children have a unique way. They have a unique way of bringing a joy into your heart. A special, unique joy. Raja Janak lifts up the child and he's asking, who does she belong to? And nobody claims the child. So Raja Janak takes her into his kingdom. And Raja Janak summons the Guru. And the Guru now gives a name to the child. You know what he names the child? Because she comes from the earth, he names her Janaki. Janaki. And because she is dulared and loved by Janak, she is given the name Sita. That's why her name is Janaki Sita. Now you see, the name that the Guru gave was Janaki. And that's the name that she's called first. When the Guru gives a name to the child, what do you do with that name? Baba, we can't put that in front of the certificate. We could write it in the back in a pencil. And then time down the road, you see the behavior of the child and you see the energy of the child. And you say, Baba, I just wonder if they switch the child in the hospital. Because we don't behave so. That's not our culture. Why is the child behaving so? You see, you didn't give the child the matching name. Even the name carries an energy. Do you know that? Even the name carries an energy. So you don't put a name because you like it. You have to put a name because it is appropriate. Everybody has an appropriate color. Everybody has an appropriate number. Everybody has an appropriate deity that they should worship. Everybody has an appropriate day they should fast. And we are all not the same. We are all different. Did you know that? Did you know that? That's why you have to seek the advice of the Guru. He has to instruct you what kind of puja is favorable for you. What you should do. What you can do. When you can do it. You don't fast because you feel to fast. You have to find out what day I could fast. And out of my minimum worship, I get maximum merit. We sat at home before we came here. All of us, we sat at home and we did worship to the goddesses Lakshmi and Bhagwan Vishnu. Because today is an auspicious day. And they were saying to me, how come we're not doing a long? And I said, you know what? Long doesn't mean that it was good. Sitting for a short time and connecting is what makes it good. Being able to connect with what you're doing makes you good. Knowing that the merit will come out of very little in a dynamic way. Janaki Sita, she has existence. Janak is happy beyond happy. And in the kingdom of Janak, the little girl begins to grow quickly. Janak has taught his daughter how to pray. Do your children know how to light the diya? Do your children know how to offer the dar? Do your children know what is the appropriate day to fast? Do your children know what is their time of birth? Do your children know what is their Rasi name? Do your children know in the event that something happens to you, how to pick up the mantle to forge forward from that point? Have you imparted that knowledge to them? Have you spoken to them? Baba, all I know are born in the morning. That's all my mother tell me. But you see, you didn't ask. And if you know the appropriate time, then the astrology and checking and everything becomes very easy. But when you don't know, it becomes difficult and wild. And you're not able to pinpoint and find the exact information. It says, the child quickly begins to grow. But one day, she has taken her flower basket and she is out in the flower garden. And as she takes the flower basket and she goes out in the flower garden, you know what happened? She's hearing something. Sunilo pavan Ram kahani, Sunilo pavan Ram kahani. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sun lo pavan Ram kahani, sun lo pavan Ram kahani. She's hearing two birds, and the birds, they're telling a kahani. You ever hear that word before, kahani? What does kahani mean? Everybody have a different story they could tell, you know. Huh? Hunch the person next to you. Say, hey, what is your story? Ask them. Say, hey, what is your story? You see, we in Kuva, and one day show up in the puja. And then anywhere else it have puja, it's too far. Kahani. Because everything is important but God. I can't come tomorrow, you know. It have this show. I go can't come. I did done by the ticket. Huh? You see, the choice is yours. The choice is yours to choose what is of the world or what will help you when you leave the world. The choice is yours. But we hold on to the Kali. We hold on to the Yug. Huh? We hold on to all the Maya, the illusion. We like party and celebration. But the minute you hear prayers, you know what happened? The car shut down and your knee hot in and you just have acid reflux in the night and a whole bag of excuse. And I can't leave the house. I just had to stay and watch it. If you like to watch your house, take a picture and carry it anywhere you go and watch it. Because whether you're there or you're not there, you're not guaranteed to be safe. Whether you're home or not home, you can't prevent what is going to happen. It says, she's listening to the birds. But you know what catches her attention? The birds, they're calling her name. And the birds, they're saying, she's married to somebody whose name is Ram. All prayers done. She sits down now and she wants to hear the kahani. She wants to hear the story. You ever hear something interesting? You just want to hear more and hear more and hear more and hear more. And the more you hear is the more you want to hear and the more you want to hear. It says, night comes. From morning, night comes. And the bird still telling the kahani. But she doesn't want the bird to go and rest. She wants to hear more. So you know what she does? Her father is the king. She tells her father she wants the bird. They tried to catch the two birds. But instead of catching the two, they only capture one. And as they capture one bird, the female bird is caught. And as the female bird is in the cage, Janaki Mata takes the bird into her room. The male bird accompanies because this is his wife. This is his consort. And in the night, Janaki Mata is telling the bird, sing, sing, sing. For those of you who have pets at home, sometimes you build a bond and a connection with the pets that is beyond explanation, you know. You know that? In my growing up days, we were told that the animals have to stay outside. You cannot bring them inside. No animals inside. Do you know, now, in 2024, I have a dog that is asleep in my bed with me. I can't go across on the other side of the bed. She wants to bite me. That's her section. If I pull the sheet and the sheet uncovers her, she barks to wake me up to cover her back. And I say whole day and whole night, somebody in charge. The dog wakes me up to go to the bathroom. And there is a connection. You tell the dog sit down, the dog sit down. You tell the dog come, the dog come. You tell the dog eat, the dog eat. You tell the dog time to sleep, she go jump up on the bed. They know, they understand. And some of the people who say and laugh at me when I had a dog doing that, now they have a dog too. And they don't have one, they have two. And it's not only sleeping on their bed, it's sleeping on all the bed in their house. But they laugh at me first. Huh? But you see, the love that the animals give is a different love. Isn't it? When you reach home, that dog jumping on you. That dog don't like you, you know. That dog saying, Parsad, Parsad. Where the Parsad? Huh? He don't see you in that shalwar and know you bringing Parsad home. Isn't it? He done waiting by the gate, Parsad. He know. It says, the male bird is begging, set her free, set her free. And Mother Sita says, no. Sing. Sing. Somebody ever want to talk to you when you're tired and sleepy? You almost falling asleep already and they want you, hey, Aunt Sana. And you say, oh God, let me talk tomorrow now. And they say, I could never talk to you. You don't have no time. Every time I talk to you, you're busy and sleeping. And well, don't answer, you listen. Don't try that with me, you know, because I snoring. You ever had a conversation with somebody and in the middle of the conversation you went you know, I never forget. The entire group went to New York to do a yagna. And we were all sleeping in the living room of my mother's home. And everybody was almost on the ground. But it's fun. It is fun because it's all of us. And Dan Paul got up to use the washroom. And of all the people, Dan Paul mashed me. And he said, oh, sorry, I mashed your foot. I said, that's my face you're standing on. He said, huh, so hard, I thought that was your foot. But you see, that's how life is. You do things that creates memories that when you think back at it, it makes you smile, it makes you happy. It is experiences that are pleasant. The male bird is saying, set her free. And Mother Sita saying, no, I want her to sing. Let her sing. And the female bird begins to fly to and fro and to and fro and hitting her head and hitting her beak and hitting her head and hitting her beak. The female bird falls to the ground and she dies. The male bird becomes angry. The male bird becomes annoyed. And you know what the male bird is saying? Do dukiya re panchi bichre ja rahe. Aaj suno hum geet bidata ja rahe. Do dukiya re panchi bichre ja rahe. The 2 days of togetherness has come to an end. One of the bird has left. One of the bird has left. The male bird seeing the female bird dead. The male bird begins to cry. You see, separation is something that the mind could never get accustomed to. Is that true? Separation is something that causes a pain that nothing and nobody will be able to heal, cure, or fill. It's Mother's Day. You would have lost your mother. That creates a pain in your heart. Some people are privileged to have mother and grandmother and great-grandmother still alive. You're lucky. You're very lucky. I don't regret, but I wish that my grandmother was still alive. I wish. But she didn't die. She continues to live on through the legacy that she has left behind. When we make the parsad, we make it in her pot. When we make the lapsi, we make it in her pot. That's why most of the times I insist that things happen by me. Because I want the legacy to continue. I want the tradition to continue. I don't want it to end. When my Aja died, everybody thinking about everything else, I take shank and bell. That's what I take. And shaligram. That's what I take. It's not important to them. It's very important to me. And when I ring the bell, his Atma will get a blessing. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. The murtis that I'm using belong to him. I used all in Auntie Kamin's puja. All. I spread them on the whole bedi. Her daughters look at me and they say, Mommy, where you get that murti from? I said, no, Mommy, you're not carrying it right back where it come from. The legacy has to continue. The male bird out of anger speaks. And you know what the male bird says? The male bird says, Sita, there is a nest with eggs. And if my wife sat on those eggs, I will have children. But you did not only take my wife from me, you took my children away from me. Well, I want to finish the kahani. Listen to what he's saying. I want to finish the story. A time will come when you will be in family way. The nest has 2 eggs. You'll be giving birth to 2 children. But you will be taken away from Rama. Rama will not enjoy those children with you, because I never enjoyed my children with my wife. Placing the curse, you know what will happen? Time passes. And what will happen? Tomorrow evening, the Katha will tell us. Tomorrow evening, we will listen to what happens.
आज सुनो हम गीत बिनाता जा रहे, दो दुखियारे पंछी बिचरे जा रहे। हमने जग की जब तस्वीर देखी, एक हंसता है 10 रोते। हमने जग की जब तस्वीर देखी, एक हंसता है 10 रोते। ये प्रभु की अद्भुत का तीर देखी, एक हंसता है 10 रोते। हमने हंसते मुकरे 4 मिले, दुखियारे चेहरे 1000 मिले। हमने हंसते मुकरे 4 मिले, दुखियारे चेहरे 1000 मिले। यहाँ सुख की सौंप तीर देगी, एक हंसता है 10 रोते। हमने जग की जब तस्वीर देखी, एक हंसता है 10 रोते। दो सुखिया लाखों में, आंसू ही करो को आंखों के। दो एक सुखिया लाखों में, दुखियार चेहरे 1000 मिले। हमने जिन हर तकदीर देखी, एक हंसता है 10 रोते। हमने जग की जब तस्वीर देखी, एक हंस हंसता है नसरोते। कुछ बोल प्रभु ये क्या माया, तेरा खेल समझ में ना आया। कुछ बोल प्रभु ये क्या माया, तेरा खेल समझ में ना आया। हमने देख महलवा तीर लेकिन एक हंसता है दस रोते। हमने जग की अजब तस्वीर देखी, एक हंसता है दस रोते। एक हंसता है दस रोते, एक हंसता है दस रोते। श्याम रामचंद्र की जय। We'll invite to the microphone Councillor Vanessa at this time.
Sitaram and good night to everyone. I would like to acknowledge MP Barry Padarat, councillors, my colleague Gangaram, Councillor Taxi, as we fondly call him, Allan Seepersad. Pundits, Sunil Seetahal, Maharaj, and Pandit Avinash Maharaj, St. Andrew's Youth and Sports and Cultural Group, invited guests. Tonight is a special night for the Seepersad family. Today brings back a lot of sad memories for us as we celebrate devotional prayers for my cousin, the late Akash. Today makes 10 years. My cousin is in heaven in the arms of the Almighty. Akash we fondly call Papa. Yes, he was everyone Papa. I remember my grandmother, Ima, Auntie Shirmala, Uncle Allan, your brother Avi, always taking very good care of you. God only takes his best angels and have him at his side. We all had to let you go to the Almighty. You will never be forgotten. You are always in our hearts. You are not alone. Grandma Ima, Papa Charles, your 3 uncles, Uncle Siu, Dar, and my father Mahis. And not forgetting Uncle Toya, your cousin Tanika. They are all with you, and indeed you are the lucky one. We, the Seepersad family, always have a strong bond together, and in difficulties we stand strong to support each other. I would like to thank my Uncle Allan and Auntie Shirmala and my cousin Avi. They always stood at my side through my grief and took a part in my life as a father and mother role. Avi, he was truly a brother role, as for me. This day I will never forget. Yes, as Pundit had said before, I am Vanessa Kusi, the wife of one of the divers at the tragedy at the Paria, and I am in still grief. This I will never forget. I am truly blessed to have my cousins, uncles, and aunties, too many to name. They all know I love them. Special thank you to everyone who came out, by the hundreds who celebrate this day with us. I love you all. I am the eldest niece by the boy side. I am Vanessa Kusi, also newly elected councillor for Kuva West, Estonia. Thank you. Seepersad sing. My uncle Allan always fondly called me.
Seetahal, everyone, once again. I really didn't come to do the welcome. I just came to give Baba a note. But here I am again. So Vyasji, Pandit Avinash and Mrs. Maharaj, looking as resplendent as ever. Main shooters, MP Barry and family, councillors, godmother of the Orange Valley Vishnu Mandir, our awardees tonight. In the year 1978, which was 46 years ago, a group of young, ambitious and dynamic men was speaking about lighting up the streets of St. Andrews for Diwali. The founder then was Mr. Manchan Jagannath. After playing a game of cricket and they were liming on their street light, this group, the St. Andrews Street Youth, Sport and Cultural Group. People just call the group all kind of name. But that is the name, the St. Andrews Street Youth, Sport and Cultural Group. The original leadership continued for 10 years until the mantle was handed over to Councillor Allan Seepersad for the past 36 years. Let's give him a big round of applause for that. The group has now developed into a successful group. From the late Balraj Devsuran, Councillor took over the hosting of annual Phagwa celebrations on a grand scale at the Kuva Recreation Ground. And of all the major religious and cultural activities are still celebrated to date. As I said on the first night, this Panchouti Yagna is being held in this Heritage Month to celebrate the 179th anniversary of the arrival of East Indians to Trinidad Desh. If you find I'm speaking too fast, it's not that. You all are listening too slow. Tonight, we take the honor and privilege to recognize some of our unsung heroes, the hard-working, dedicated stalwarts of the group, pioneers who have served tirelessly and who are sometimes unrecognized and unrewarded. This small token of appreciation is simply to say thank you. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are special to us. You are all treasures, so precious and rare. Your seva, your selfless service is truly admirable. And as Baba said earlier, service to mankind is service to God. For your sterling continued contribution towards the St. Andrews Street Youth Sport and Cultural Organization, we recognize for dedication, passion, and hard work the following individuals. So we will call their names and they will just stand. We don't have much space, so it will have to come down the line. And we have Jasmine will be assisting. Our first awardee, so we want to move this along as quickly as possible. So what will happen, we will call all the awardees and then we will ask our most senior public servant, Barry G, to assist with the distribution. Barry himself being a former awardee. Devanarayan Kenny Seepersad. So you'll just stand right by Jasmine there. Mrs. Sumaria Wilson. Everybody knows her as Tanti Pulo. Mr. Lochan Diaram. Everybody knows him as Loch. Chandralekha Rajkumar, Tanti Kala. Ramnath Ramsewak, Uncle Rampi. Phyllis Sami, Auntie Phyllis. Jasoja Jagrup, also known as Child. Auntie Sandra Mohammed. One of the founding members, in case you all don't know, is our own councillor, Gangaram Gopal, aka Gangs. And this one is a little bit of surprise. Our Councillor Allan Seepersad. Yeah. And bringing to the end of the awardees tonight, Mrs. Shirmala Seepersad. And as Shirmala makes her way up, Vanessa spoke about remembering Akash today. We must recognize his mother, Mrs. Shirmala Seepersad, for her sacrifice and caring for Akash for all of his worldly existence. For those of you all who don't know, Akash was a special child. Her dedication as his mother was unparalleled. With a quiet and unassuming demeanor, she accepted her duty and conducted her care in a most humble and simple manner. So while Barry is doing the needful, Baba, could we ask for a budget? Okay. So we'll go straight on to greetings from Councillor's uncle. Mr. Lakshman Sona Singh.
Namaste, Sitaram. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, Pundit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj, you see, members of the Utsav Foundation, Ganesh Foundation, members of the group, special welcome to each and every one of you. My purpose here, I was given a kahani by taxi. He wanted to know about the Pitras in the family. My father's name was Sona Singh, and I happens to be Lakshman Sona Singh. Apparently, the name Lakshman comes from the golden pages. And I carry Sona also, which is something heavy. And Singh, they say something called Chatri, or is it curry? Or Chatri, something. But nevertheless, my uncle was the late Seepersad Singh. Taxi father was Charles Seepersad Singh. So, taxi grandfather was Seepersad Singh. That is how they got the name Seepersad Singh. Also deceased Siv Seepersad Singh. And I remain relative with the Siv family, taxi family. Sister Carmen also carry the Seepersad Singh's name. Her father-in-law was Seepersad Singh. From there on, we move on to a man named Ganga Prasad Singh, who was a councillor long moons ago. He had a son by the name of the late Pandit Purnama. So that has become related to the late Pandit Purnama. We had a medical doctor in the field by Dr. Sirat Singh. A heart and brain surgeon by Dr. Chanan Singh. And your humble servant remains a laborer until this day. But I am proud of that. What happens to be a laborer? Because I'm a cane farmer, nothing wrong in it. What is wrong about that is that I planted sugar cane, sold it to Carry Limited. When Carrying Limited closed down in 2003. I continued planting cane until 2007. So we had something called a back pay. Mrs. Kamla Bisesa gave us one payment in her reign. So we was still owed 2 payments. But lo and behold, Mr. R and his companion refused to pay any money from that day to now. But they choose to get millions wasting. They could get millions for other things, but not the simple cane farmer. But nevertheless, the time is coming when Brother Taxi will be knocking at your doors, and plus our MPs will be knocking at our doors. And one day I will collect my little Dachshund. A few days ago, brother was describing Ravan. But do we still have Ravan around? But the day and the time is very challenging. Sometimes we cannot overwhelm the same. But when we come together at the end of the way and the end of the week in satsang, like a teacher like Pandit Sunil, we become energized once more to face the world. Congregational prayer is of great value and should never be neglected. Today, brothers and sisters, let us bow in reverence to the lotus feet of the Guru, Sunil Seetahal Maharaj. Who is an ocean of mercy. And his words are like the sunbeam, distilling the mass darkness. What gift can we give to the Guru? What special gift can we give him? It is nothing that we can give to him that he already had. It's the same words that he taught to us every day and every night. If we put those words into practice, he will be proud of us. Brothers and sisters, thank you all for taking the time to join with this family. And all those who assisted in the meals, in the parasads, is a saying, God bless the hands of those who help and those who pray. Thank you, brother.
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. We'll allow Taxi to say a few words at this time. Very, very brief, short. Yeah.
Baba, I didn't have no intention. But I have a little kahani, what is truth. The Honorable Member of Parliament, the son of the community, our Honorable Barry Padarat. Yesterday, I went to work, just passing in the office in the borough, and I passed through the market and then I come home. So as I reached home, Shirmala told me, and I understand Rondell was the witness. She was talking to a little bird by the step. And she said the bird was lifeless. And she went and bring some water for the bird. And she said, Papa, you come. You come to see me. Let me give you this water. And I'm going to get a fig for you. Right by the step, Rondell say, who she talking to? And he went and he see. And when she gave him the fig and that water, then he leave and he gone. So Pandit, I want to say here, and I always boast and said, Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj, and I'm saying it open. If I had to get a letter, I will take the letter. Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj was the only Pandit in the time of the COVID-19. And when somebody do a good and gratitude, you must always remember it. I know you give me 2 minutes, eh? But if you give me 3, I go tell them everything. Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj was in a corner inside a home doing job, doing the simple puja for family, for the whole world and this country. Anybody ever recognize him? Anyone make any contribution to say that Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj? As a lady from Finnish Park was here yesterday, and she told me, when I asked her about her husband, I said, you alone come? She said her husband died in the COVID, and was she and she alone to do the right. I said, oh my. And I remember and I reflect on Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj, that who stood for this country throughout, not only for his family, for the entire country. Give him a round of applause. I always believe when someone do a good, give them the credit. I want to say, on behalf of the organization too, the stalwart that you see here is leadership and holding a responsibility for 36 years to hold a community, a district, or a constituency is not an easy task. Your humble servant throughout this country, night and day, meeting, going to meeting, everyone in the home. My partner Gangaram Gopal is my driver. And we will go throughout the country. And when we're coming back, I said, our people are sleeping, but we outside here fighting for the righteousness and for the betterment of this country. But we know we don't have thanks. We don't get thanks, but Bhagwan go give us thanks. The same with Pandit Tanin. Same thing. Matters whatever you do, you have no thanks to get. But I want to tell you all something sincerely here. When you is a leader, you must remember the gratitude, what they do. Now, I sat down there and I didn't want to go up. You know, I wear many caps. Many caps. I involved in all other organizations and society and my party. And I remember when Akash had gone to the great beyond, our Prime Minister, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, with the PM1, blue lights coming down, 4 o'clock in the evening. It had a gentleman, my father, and he was personal friend, but he was in the other fence, but they born and grew in Balmain. And he was by the bar in by Choros here. And when he saw this light and the black vehicle coming down, PM1 and son, coming down, when they heard my son pass away, and the PM heard my son passing away, and my member of my brother and nephew here, Barry, called me and said the PM will be here. When the late Mr. Desmond Baxter, Bhai Mallu Ji, he walked down and he come and he meet me after. And he said, you are very great for a Prime Minister to come to your home when a time of difficulty. Why we don't remember when somebody do a good and always talk about the good. My mother told me one thing. My father come and he get ill, going to a sick leave and doctor and what and what. But it had a gentleman who was the bookkeeper. And he lived till 91 years. I think last year he died. From the village. And my mother always told me, you must show that gratitude anytime you see him. He assists. He assists us. And I always, sometimes he ride the bike and he come in the pavilion in the village and I go and buy my bread by the bakery. I was to hold up and talk to him. So, Panditji, I want to say here, I believe, as Pandit Avinash, Sunday come and do the Pitra Puja, come and do our Panchmuki Hanuman, come today do Shirmala and me and Avi, Durga Puja, Ganesh Puja, and Hanuman Puja. And when he put in the chandan, he said, think good, hear good, say good, and do good. You know? So I asked myself, he had to tell me that. This way happening here. Me, I do nothing, you know. Me, I do nothing. You know who do it? They said, just stand up. Stand up and just, you get the support and it will happen. But when you is a leader, you're born a leader. Bhagwan said we here for a purpose. Not everybody. Not everybody born to be a leader. So for the few words I want to say, it has some things I want to say, but I forget to. But when I put on that next cap, I will say it. Right? So Panditji, I want to thank Shamila. She had stood, take care with Avinash, Akash and Avinash. And she always take care my mother. And she always, look, she aunt is here. She own, two aunts she have. She aunt from Florida here, Auntie Rita. And we have Auntie Dulcie here. And you know, the most interest, you know why proud is she about? She did make sure I'm going to look for she auntie in Trinidad. She poor. And the next aunt poor in Canada. Look, she'd sit down in the corner there. I know. A surprise, they only come one day from Florida. You know, I know that some Dolahin like to go by the family and look for the family, but she just take interest of my family. Every one of them. Show that respect. My sister-in-law here and my brother, Harry, we show that respect as a father and a mother. And my Bhauji, they make sure every week she must call me to have some talkari and roti home or bacon, something. So, our gratitude. My brother Kenny too. There's only 3 of us here now. 3 gone to the great beyond. 3 of us here. But I think we will survive some many, many years. So I want to thank you all and may God bless you. So may Bhagwan give you health and strength, long life, peace and happiness. For the 3 minutes, I thank you. Where there is unity, there is strength.
Syawar Ramachandra ki jai. Sing with me for a few minutes. Jai Jai Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Seetahal. Jai Jai Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Seetahal. I have been privileged, I have been blessed to know Taxi and members of his family for so many years now. I have been here in a lot of celebratory times. and I've been here in some of the most down and out times. I remember having to go upstairs to read the Gita for Mama, which was a very, very sad thing. Which was something that I remember officiating at funerals in the family. Sad things. But despite what life threw out, one of the most remarkable things is that members of this family, they have never lost their hope and their balance and their trust in Bhagwan, in Paramatma. And though life has treated them very unfair in many instances, where members of the family would have lost their life because of murder and different things, our councillor, our husband, different circumstances, they did not lose their hope. They did not lose their trust in Bhagwan. And I want to tell you, our mantras tell us that once we pray sincerely, Bhagwan makes the impossible possible. He makes the impossible possible. You see, Auntie Shamla was praying for a sign to know that her son was in a good place. Huh? You think the bird just appeared? You think that just happened by guess? That's your son saying to you, hey, you sit down and cry, you still have to work and wash clothes and mop and clean and wash pot. I fly in free. I am free. And that's what death is. Death is not the end. Tonight we listen. Ravan took that pot to hide death. But out of the death of the holy people, life was given to Mother Sita. And where there is death, there will be birth. Because Hinduism stands on the foundation and the principle of believing in the law of reincarnation. Where there is birth, there is going to be death. Where there is death, there is going to be birth. And so it is an inevitable cycle that never ends. Tonight, I purposely allowed him to speak because I don't want him to talk tomorrow evening. I have a flight to catch tomorrow night and he can't keep me back under no circumstances. So I allowed him to speak tonight. And tonight it takes courage, it takes strength to stand and speak and not break down, especially when it marks the death anniversary of your child. And for those who would have had a child that may have died will understand what I'm saying. Those who would have had a brother or a sister or some close relative who would have died will understand.
कलिमलहरणि विषय रस पीगी शुभग सिंगार मुक्ति युग बीगी
हर नरोक भव मूत्रियमी की तात माते सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कलि कललित सिय पीगी
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कलि कललित सिय पीगी जय जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम 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 जय जय हनुमान
जय सिया राम जय जय हनुमान
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
ओ जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
ओ जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
परब्रह्म शिव हरि ओम
परब्रह्मा शिव हरि ओम
परविष्णु शिव हरि ओम
परविष्णु शिव हरि ओम
परब्रह्मा शिव हरि ओम
परब्रह्मा शिव हरि ओम
परविष्णु शिव हरि ओम
परविष्णु शिव हरि ओम
हरि ओम जय शिव
हरि ओम जय शिव
हरि ओम जय शिव
हरि ओम जय शिव
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
गोविंद गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद गोपाल गोपाल भजो कृष्ण मुकुंद
गोविंद गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद गोपाल गोपाल भजो कृष्ण मुकुंद
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
हरि ओम हरि ओम हरि ओम
ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा मृतं गमय
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियेव बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभावं करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरि श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्र भजे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। राजा रामचंद्र भगवान की सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। कली चला सीताराम।